Hello? Excuse me, the people at the front! Can you please turn round? Everybody at the front, turn round! Hello!
If you want,
hello!
Near me, you have to go.
Hello, Akbar!
Where is she?
Nala Takbir! Nala Risale! Nala Hidri! Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, thank you. Now we're going to invite John Broom and Andy McDonald. Can you all please come forward? Councillor Javed.
We've got a list of speakers. 10 years old, we might be better.
Can you all gather around this way a bit as well, please? Just come in closer. Come in closer. Can we put that in higher?
People.
These are. So, why can we ask you to hold it?
Oh, chill, can we just get people in as near as they can get, please? It's going to be difficult with those in the back. You're not going to hear a lot.
Actually,
some people are just not going to be able to hear what we say. That's unfortunate. But we organised this at very short notice with a small PA system. I've got the pleasure in introducing our first speaker, who is the MP from Middlesbrough, Andy McDonald. Please welcome him.
Mike's on.
Bit of a high wire act. Hello everybody.
But not right into it.
Good morning, good afternoon. What a fantastic turnout this is. It's wonderful. If you read the Gazette, you'll find there's 200 people here. Well, there's 200 people there, there's 200 people there, 200 people there. There must be 2,000. It's a fantastic turnout. And where are the BBC? Where are the BBC? Are they covering this? Okay. Well, let's say a few words with you this morning, share a few thoughts and comments. We've had a lot of gatherings here in the Centre Square in recent months. Last Sunday we gathered for the Naga Curtain celebrations, and just a few weeks before we gathered for our magnificent Mela. Then we should celebrate the Middlesbrough and across the Tees Valley. We're a cohesive and peaceful community of many faiths and cultures, and we must do all we can to preserve that. It's precious to us and we value it. But today we're gathering again in solidarity, but in protest at the appalling events we've seen unfolding on our TV sets in Gaza. Well, firstly, going to congratulate all the organisers of this event. It's fantastic that they've done this at such short notice. And the Teesside Palestinian Solidarity Committee, all of the other committees that have been involved in it. I know there's been a great deal. And I also want to congratulate the Mayor and the officers of Middlesbrough Council and Cleveland Police who have worked their socks off to bring this about. It's often very difficult to get through all the bureaucratic hurdles you need to do this sort of thing, but they've worked their socks off and they've made it happen. They're to be congratulated for that. Now, last Monday, David Cameron addressed the House of Commons in an urgent statement about the crisis in Palestine. He spoke at length about the dangers faced by the people of Israel, about the indiscriminate nature of Hamas's actions, and laboured the right of Israel to defend itself. Well, let's get that one out of the way from the off. Of course, sovereign states have got the right to defend themselves, but any action has to be proportionate, and that action must be designed to protect and not destroy. They call Palestinians terrorists. Well, there's some history here. I remember all too well hearing from my own father, sadly no longer with us, about his service in Palestine. in 1945 to 48. In those days, he was on the receiving end of the attacks made by the people who were then called terrorists. It was those terrorists who blew up the King David Hotel, blew up trains. They included Yitzhak Shamir and Menachem Begin. What happened to those terrorists who fought to establish a homeland for the Jews and who violently opposed British occupation? They became successive prime ministers of the nation they fought to bring into being. So history tells us, colleagues, that terrorists can become political leaders of sovereign states. We have the recent experience of the triumph of Nelson Mandela over the apartheid regime in South Africa. Well, the Palestinian people cry out for nothing less than self-rule and self-determination, international recognition, and to be left in peace to get on with their lives in a free Palestine. Since Israel started its attack on Gaza some 5 weeks ago, over 800 Palestinians have been killed and rising in airstrikes. And we hear this morning that another 19 people from the same family killed in one strike. Hundreds and hundreds of fatalities. There have been women and children there. Airstrikes have destroyed over 5,000 homes, 85 schools, and displaced over 130,000 people. Mosques and hospitals have not been spared. 6 out of the 13 hospitals in Gaza have been severely damaged, and we heard in the last 24 hours of a pregnant mother killed in an attack and her baby removed from her corpse by caesarean section. And we pray that that baby is battling for his life. What an entry to this world. 1.2 million people have no access to water or proper sanitation. What on earth is that going to be like in the heat of the Middle East? And yes, Hamas rocket attacks, as stated by our Prime Minister, have killed 27 Israelis, 25 of them soldiers, all some mothers, sons and daughters. Those deaths are undoubtedly tragic, but they do not warrant the systematic bombardment being rained down on the Palestinian people. Thank God for the 12-hour ceasefire such as it is. But we hear that the Israeli offensive continues unabated. Well, we have to welcome that small degree of respite. Now the task has to extend that ceasefire to 7 days to explore a more lasting peace. If so, hopefully people have time to bury their dead and treat the wounded. But Israel has been relentless and has shown over these past weeks no signs of restraint or compassion for its civilian victims. Defenders of the Israeli government say that the airstrikes are based on good intelligence and that they are targeted. They say pinpointed. Well, let's examine that. A week last Wednesday, 4 little lads were playing hide and seek in the fishermen's huts at the harbour of Gaza City. They're all from the same extended family, the Bakr family, aged 7 to 11. Ayed, Zakaria, Mohammed and Ismail. Just 4 little lads playing and then running along the beach, only for an Israeli shell to rip their bodies to sunder in an instant. What threat did those babies pose to Israeli security? How are those murders proportionate or justified? They are not. This was murder and a crime against humanity, and the international community must see to it that criminal charges are brought against the leaders of Israel and that they're brought before the International Court in The Hague. Such a peace the Middle East desperately needs. Let's face it, colleagues, there will never be peace in our world until such times as the stain on humanity of the continuing conflict in Palestine goes on. We put this conflict right and we have a chance. Fail to resolve it and it will consume generations to come. The subjugation of the Palestinian people has stoked the flames of hatred and extremism across the Middle East and will not end until a settlement for a free Palestinian state's been achieved. In Britain, we're not insulated from these events. Many British people from all faiths and those of none are angered by Israeli aggression. These emotions divide communities and help sow the seeds of mistrust and suspicion. The only way to stop the cycle of violence and hatred is to draw a line in the sand right now and demand that Israel brings to a permanent halt its disproportionate attacks. A framework for a sustainable future can only be drawn up Once Israel commits to a long-term ceasefire, it falls to Hamas to do likewise. Only then can there be meaningful negotiations, but the end goal has to be the establishment of a free Palestinian state. Otherwise, it's Armageddon. So I urge our Prime Minister and our Foreign Secretary and all the world leaders to demand an immediate and permanent end to terror, an end to the blockade of Palestine, an end to the occupation of Palestine, a return to the 1967 boundaries, and a commitment to the realisation of a two-state solution which is in both parties' long-term interests. This is the only way to bring about a lasting peace, justice and security to the Palestinian and Israeli peoples. Solidarity, justice, peace, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much, Andy McDonald, MP. Well, next we have people can do this, got speakers on, we've only got 3-4 minutes each. Sam and Masoud, please, where's Sam? Sam? Samir Masoud? Mehdi is coming through now. Sam's a Palestinian who lives on Teesside, so he knows very well his friends and family there suffering at the minute, so we've asked Sam to come and speak to us. Stand up there, Sam, my friend.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. English, Muslim, Christian, Jew, anybody supporting Palestine. Thank you very much. And thanks, Mr. David Cameron. Mr. David Cameron, you quick went to Syria to support the rebels in there, to support the Libyan rebels. Will you please support our Palestinian people, all what we need, our freedom, please. Or our Palestinian people who's crying every day, getting killed every day. Our bloodshed, is that enough or not yet? How many Palestinian people has to be dead so far? 950 so far, right? What do you want? All the Palestinian people to be dead, to be killed. But no, believe me, we're going to fight from right to the end. We're going to fight right to the end. Cameron, Obama, we are Palestinian people. We're going to teach you how to live. We're going to teach the rest of the world the freedom for Palestinian people, the freedom for Palestine. Thank you very much, brother and sister. Thank
you. Next we have Tom Robinson. Is Tom in the audience, please? Tom's a member of the Teesside Friends of Palestine. He's been, so he's got a bit to say. Over to you, Tom.
Hi everyone, good to see you all here today. Thanks for inviting me to speak. Last year I went to the West Bank and I can tell you it's bad enough in the West Bank, it's even worse in Gaza. And we're thinking, you know, we're watching the news every night and I dread to see what's happening in Gaza. I just want to say a few words. When you visit Palestine, 3 things happen to you. First of all, you fall in love. You fall in love with the people of Palestine, you fall in love with the place, with the hospitality, with the fight for freedom and the struggle for justice. Second of all, you break your heart because you see what's happening. And I think about my friend in Cllr, just outside Jerusalem, whose house is to be demolished. He's lived there for 50 years, but the Israelis want him out. I think about Hanan, a 70-year-old pensioner who lives in Burin village in the West Bank. She's suffering appalling treatment at the hands of settlers who want rid of her so they can expand their settlement on the lands that she and her family have lived in for many years. I think about the man in Bethlehem who said, "What hope do my children have?" And I didn't know what to say. But I know if we continue fighting, there will be some hope for the people of Palestine. And I think about Al-Jada, my friend who lives in Ramallah. He was injured at Kalandia checkpoints on Thursday, and luckily only his shoulder was injured, but the guy next to him was shot in the chest. And you know, the third thing which happens is you're never the same again. You have to come back, you have to tell people what you've seen, you have to fight for justice. In the Gazette the other day there was a letter from a man saying, how would you feel if your neighbour was throwing stones into your garden? How would you feel if Hamas were firing rockets at you? Well, how would you feel if I built a 700-kilometre wall in your back garden? If I moved 500,000 settlers onto your land? How would you feel if I blockaded you? If 95% of the water wasn't drinkable, how would you feel? The Israelis say they're defending themselves. They are the occupiers. Let's not forget that. There will be no peace until the occupation ends, until the blockade is finished. So keep fighting. Keep fighting. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Our next speaker is an elected member from Stockton, Councillor Javed.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. Such a great numbers, and I wish the BBC should be here to see that.
Yeah! Shame on you, BBC!
I won't repeat what my right honourable friend Andy McDonald already said, but one thing I will repeat again. Yesterday when I was opening my fast, I could not eat when I saw a pregnant woman was killed and her baby was delivered and the baby is fighting for the life. That is a shame on Israel! Shame on Israel! Israel claims to be a democratic country in the world, in Middle East. It is a killing machine of the Middle East, killing Palestinian people. Gaza is one of the biggest open prison in the world. And I urge the international community to help the Palestinian people to free Palestine now. Palestine, free Palestine now. Palestinian people has been getting killed for last 50 years. How many years more? You will be killing Palestinians before they get freedom. I urge the international community. I am disappointed on Egypt government, which they cast off a border. They are Palestinian people in Gaza. They are siege. It is an open prison of the world. I urge the international community. I urge David Cameron, Obama. I am personally disappointed on Obama very much. I urge the international community to free Palestine now, and we will fight and fight.
Thank you, Councillor. Next, a good friend of ours, a great friend of the movement. This is Mr. Mehdi Husaini. Take your time, Mehdi. Please hold on. Just stand down here, Mehdi. Stand down here. Yeah, stand down here. There you are. You stand here. There you are. There you go. Okay.
Right, okay. Right, thank you very much indeed. I am so much heartened to see our people turn up today in large number. I cannot express my thanks to all the people, community people here, who have responded to the call, which is a genuine call. We have been campaigning on the issue of Palestine for over 50 years, ourselves, at different levels. I'm a member of my union, My union is University and Colleges Union, which has passed a resolution at conferences and saying we do academic boycott. That means that our academicians will not go to Israel, neither Israeli lecturers, professors will come and invited to this country by our universities and colleges. That is a great achievement. It is not only done by our union. I think most of the union, Unite, Community, left, other unions as well, they have been passing resolutions after resolutions, year after year, supporting Palestine freedom. This is what every union is doing. I just want to bring this message to you, that from our own union itself, they have supported this march today here and in Newcastle, which is taking place in Newcastle as well. There are many union activists in this place. Now, can I say that I have been to the Tees Valley Muslim Mosque Association meeting, and there was a great response. And we have got one speaker at this point here. Now I've come to the point here. The killing which is taking place is being ignored by the entire world. We are looking at, what is happening in this world, in fact, is that our country is contributing about £8 billion in issuing the arms license. Shame on our country when this is what's happening. These weapons are used by Israel to kill people in Gaza. Innocent people who are being killed. Every day people are being killed. There was a misguided person in our community as well, and she said that kill Hamas, the problem will be solved. We were so disappointed to see that comment by one of the person who was on Facebook, and the girls responded very well. I appreciate that, that they have given a right answer to them. We do not hate Jews. We do not hate anyone. We love everyone, in fact. We want justice. We want freedom. We have seen so many Jews coming in support of our movement for freedom of Palestine. It's not only Muslims and community leaders in this area, in this country are doing it, but there are Jews who are also doing protests about what is happening there. They do not consider it to be a right situation. They condemn it. Here, America as well, Jews have taken a stand on that one there. It is those who are Zionists who want to expand the nation of whatever nation they are calling about Israel, which has snatched all the places of Palestine and build their settlements there. Well, what right do they have? They don't have any right to evict people there. This is what's happening. Shame on Israel. Can I also say, America, champion of the entire world in terms of freedom and equality, what they have done. Barack Obama is sitting there and supporting Israel and supporting with weapons and money to them so that they can kill more people in Gaza and more people in Palestine. You have been told, you have heard that more than 900 people have been killed. What a sad situation. And the entire world is quiet. Yeah, I'm just saying that if we equalize what happened in Ukraine, we are very, very considering about that situation in Ukraine. It was a sad thing to know that there were about 300 people died. And this country has been putting messages after messages in support of Ukrainian people, which I don't disagree. I say you equally say about Palestinians who have been killed. More than 900 people have been died. So I will say thank you very much for coming up, and award has been
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
2 seconds.
Palestine! Palestine! Palestine!
Brothers and sisters, before we move on to the next speaker, it would be very remiss to not recognise the people who put this this protest march together. Teesside Solidarity Movement and Teesside Palestinian Committee have worked very hard on this. And you know, there are some organisations that have supported us along the way, people like Signworks, who've done some free printing for us, the Caribbean Cafe on Linthorpe Road, which is welcoming people in for meetings. There are lots of organisations like that, but without whom this would not have gone on, this would not have been put together. It was put together at very short notice. There's councillors here, we've got MPs, we've got an MEP for the area here, and we'd like to thank them. In particular, one of the councillors who I think is here is Councillor Mike Carr. This event almost didn't happen the other day. Mike got involved and spoke to the powers that be, and all of a sudden things happened. But we have to say, every time we have one of these speeches, another child is dying somewhere in Palestine. And it's all right just meeting like this and having a discussion and being emotive and being loud and angry. We need the government to act, because every single click is killing another Palestinian children, and people are just ignoring that across the world. We have two more speakers. Rashid is the next speaker. He's just behind me, I think. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everybody. I would like to thank Tees Valley Muslim Council, which consists of all the mosques in Tees Valley area. And I'm going to make a big speech, a long one. It's just getting up here, thanking you all for turning out, giving up your precious time. And it's your sport, Thank you very much for your support, and we'll need your support next time. We'll need your support next time. Thank you very much. Jazakallah. Thank you.
Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be on you. Now, I will tell you, I'm Dr. Al-Khabbas. I'm from Bakr Mosque, but I am one of you. I will tell you the unity that Gazans and the massacres caused nowadays. It's a fight between the evilness and the freedom. It is shared everywhere in the world. It's not only with the Palestinian blood, but it is there around the world and around the history. Human beings have been humiliated with aggression and oppression and no justice. So for that cause, I thank you all, because you're sharing many people around the world. To make your point that we are human beings, we share values across the world for more than one cause. Palestine and everything where the world goes around with the killing of the human being. We stand to say no massacres, no blood shed, no injustice. We are a human being, all of us around the world. No, I'll speak now just from the Palestinian view. Do you know what is Gaza Strip? Gaza Strip is a camp for the Palestinian refugees came from different parts of Palestine under the killing and massacre of the Haganah, Stuttgart, the terrorist Israeli or whatever Zionist movement. So they killed the Palestinians, they placed them to the Gaza Strip, and now then they will take their lives, they will kill them and squeeze them and put them in the sea. And you see the evilness does not have a nationality. Even some Arabs, some Muslims, they cooperate with Israel in this massacre because it is the difference between the freedom, a human being value, and evilness. No, I praise you for being a human being and having the values. Thank you very much in the name of the Palestinian bloodshed. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, we have one last speaker. And to be honest, lots of this stuff wouldn't happen if it hadn't been for this young lady. The vigils that have been taking place at the Bells outside of McDonald's were organised by Shabana. She's one of the most powerful women I've ever met. So I'm going to hand over to Shabana for the final speech, and then we can various separate ways. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
First of all, I would like to say a big hello and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is with great sadness and regret that I report about the plight of the Palestinian people who are being tormented, who are being massacred. The Palestinian situation, which the media outlets have refused to talk about. 900 people have been massacred. 200 children have been massacred. We will not accept this of them, pregnant women. Let me ask every single one of you, pregnant, not pregnant, these are our people, our brothers and sisters, not in Islam, but in humanity. The Israeli spokesman Mark Geregev said yesterday, this is a difficult combat. I ask you all, how is this a difficult combat? It is an impossible combat. It is a combat that is brutally murdering children and women and elderly people. We will not tolerate this. This is a one-sided combat. I dare any single one of you to tell me that Israel and Palestine have no right to exist. Palestine have the right to exist. This is not about Jews and Muslims. We love the Jews. We hate the Zionist occupation. Let me tell you something that Israel is saying. We have a right to protect ourselves. But let me tell you something. The Palestinians do not have iron domes. They have the arms of their parents that are cowering over them to protect them from F-16s, from bombs, from snipers, from Apache fighters, from rifles. And our government, yes, our government and the American government are funding them to have bullets to fire them at our I stand here and I oppose the Zionist occupation on behalf of every single man, woman and child. This is about humanity. We are not going to stand here and we are not going to not shout. People have tried to stop this march, but I tell you something, truth will always avail. When there is injustice, when injustice is made law, resistance becomes a duty, and it is our duty to speak up and say, I end with the following points. For 67 years, their murderous campaign against the innocents of Palestine has been relentless. I question anyone, rather than point your fingers at the elected government of Palestine, point it at the cheering Israelis that sit on hills as entertainment to death and destruction. Peace requires the end of illegal occupation and settlement. I repeat one more time, Palestine is a country of Dazis, Samaritans, Jews, Muslims, Christians. The humanitarian values of Judaism has been corrupted by the Israeli state's human rights abuses. The only ceasefire we stand for here in Middlesbrough, the only ceasefire we will have for humanity is to end the criminal siege of Gaza!
Shabana. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, those vigils at the Barrows on the end of Linfield Road there will continue every Wednesday until such time as the Zionists are defeated. Please join us on a Wednesday, 5 till 7 or 5 till 10, however long you can stay and support the Palestinian community. Thank you and goodbye.
Palestine!